Strength and weakness do not exist independently. They are relational states. You only perceive yourself as strong in contrast to someone else's struggle. And likewise, you only feel weak when you witness or compare yourself to someone else's strength. Just like light makes sense in contrast to darkness. Now, strength makes sense in the presence of weakness. And one cannot exist without the other because they define each other. You only realize your emotional intelligence when someone else lacks it. You only appreciate your healing when someone triggers your old wounds. You only notice your boundaries when others don't have them. Now, at any given moment, you are either standing in your strength or swimming in your weakness. But rarely both simultaneously. When you are grounded, clear, and intentional, then you embody strength. And when you are overwhelmed, you are reactive, or even lost in unconscious patterns, then you're in a state of weakness. But this is not a fixed identity. It's a temporary state. Everyone transitions between strength and weakness. That is throughout their journey in life. The problem now arises when people build an identity around one side. Some wear their strength as superiority, others wear their weakness as a victim badge. But both are just parts of the same human cycle. What matters is how aware you are while navigating these states. Now that's the reality that people need to come up to. Awareness is the bridge between weakness and strength. A person can be in weakness but become strong by simply being aware of it. Awareness gives you agency, it gives you presence, and it gives you choice. Now, without it, you'll keep on repeating old patterns. And the moment you're aware, then you evolve. So the real power is not in avoiding weakness, but in being conscious while weak. That's how you transform it into strength. Strength isn't the absence of struggle. It's the conscious engagement with it. And in the dance between the weak and the strong, the weak people always fuel the strong people. This dynamic is true in every ecosystem. Weak minds give strong minds the clarity to lead. Emotional chaos fuels emotional mastery in others. Lack of accountability in one person sharpens another's commitment to integrity. It's a paradox. But the more unconscious someone is, the more space they create for others to rise in awareness. This doesn't make one superior. It makes them independent. And on the other hand, strength comes also with responsibility. Responsibility to be strong to tolerate the resistance, the ignorance, and even projections of the weak without losing yourself. That doesn't mean enabling or even rescuing. It means holding your ground while others collapse. Maintaining clarity in the face of confusion. Responding with intention, not superiority. The strongest people know, I was once where they are. I just chose to become aware. So, and that awareness, just understanding where that someone who is in a weak point, you were once there. That awareness now is what breeds compassion. That awareness is not control. It basically becomes that compassion. Strength and weakness are two expressions of consciousness. Neither is permanent, and neither defines you. What defines you is whether you choose to stay asleep or wake up. So if you're weak right now, be honest, be aware, and then grow. If you're strong, be humble, be compassionate and hold space, because we all take turns. My people, heal, heal,